Hey, everybody! It looks like the room's kind of small today. I'm only seeing 3 comments in the chat so far. Hello, Oxford Irish Dictionary, Gum Gum Films 2.0, and Lord of Realms. How are y'all doing today? I hope you're doing excellent. I've got a little arm pain going on today. Not too bad or anything, but I got my COVID vaccine yesterday, and so it's a little sore. Oh, Aussie Dragoon, hey, how's it going? But yeah, so I got my COVID vaccine yesterday, so if in the middle of the stream I end up becoming, a brainiac-like supercomputer, you can blame the microchips that are totally there, that Bill Gates put in before the divorce. That's probably something that YouTube's gonna see and be like, hold on a second, what are you talking about? You're not allowed to say that. It's a joke, YouTube overlords, if you're watching. Am I excited for Justice League Infinity? Yes, I am excited. Oh, and Conspiracy Buff is here too. Hey everybody, it looks like it's filling out a little bit more. Yeah, I'm really excited for Justice League Infinity and Batman Adventures Continue Season 2. A little bit less so on that one, but just because of how things went last time around. But we were supposed to get the new Batman Adventures last night / today, and apparently last second they said no, you're not getting the 2 digital chapters like we did last time, and was announced to be happening. It's not going to be a digital first anymore. The entire book is dropping on the day of print release, and so it's the same with Justice League Infinity. So our entire schedule just got thrown up in the air again, and it's gonna be quite the ride. But yeah, so it's we're gonna have some growing pains with it. No, B-Tech, we have to remove Dick Grayson first. He's supposed to be there at least by the time of the second issue, so we will see, I suppose. But yeah, with that, I guess we're caught up with pleasantries, and we can probably start the book. We're going into the final chapters of Justice League Speed Trap. For those of you who haven't been here with us, essentially the point of the book was a shady dude got all of the Flash rogues together and said, I have a way to beat out the Flash. And most of them were like, no, you don't, get out of here. And so they left. And what kind of stuffed animal is on the bed? Oh, that's Sissy's Simba from forever ago. But yeah, so the dudes were just like, you don't have a plan to beat the Flash, and they all left, and Weather Wizard was just like, okay, now I have the gun to beat the Flash. And so Flash has been walking around powerless mostly, and then the Justice League went to Gorilla City and got their asses handed to them, and then from there they got possessed by monkeys, and then Grodd tried to kill them. And I guess not monkeys, but gorillas. You know how it is. You know how it goes. They're all the same. I mean, they're not. They're scientifically not. But gorillas, monkeys, apes, it's all, under the same umbrella. And then Flash ended up going to try to save them, and he accessed the Speed Force and got his powers back. So that's basically where we are. Let's see. Hello, Dominic Ricci. I like how it's Disney Simba and not just Simba. Is there a difference between... Is there like a Simba that's not Disney Simba? Hey, Maddie, have you read Gotham High? Because I'm reading that now. I have not. But hello to you, Durrell, and hello, Aiden Vaughn. But yeah, we can go ahead and hop over here and start working our way through the chapter. We got chapter 11, chapter 12, and what you call the epilogue. Though not to be confused with the Batman Beyond epilogue. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into it. Though most of the gorillas were super intelligent, Grodd had very little trouble finding plenty of lesser apes willing to follow him without question. Granted, his psychic force suppressed their will, but Grodd also used his powers to reduce whatever personal intellect they possessed. They were stupid, perhaps, but loyal and incapable of ambition. When Grodd spoke, his troops acted. There was roughly 100 of these elite warriors. As Grodd watched the Justice League rushing to battle, his followers rallied immediately to his defense. His will was theirs. As quickly as the thought entered his powerful mind, it suffused theirs as well. The ape forces swept toward the heroes in a wall of massive hairy muscularity to protect their beloved leader. The Justice League was inundated with the swarming ape soldiers. Even Superman was driven back by the sheer force of numbers. None of the apes carried weapons. There were none immediately at hand. No one expected they would need weapons to watch the League's demise. This was sloppy, brutal, hand-to-hand combat. At least a few... Damn, dude. Hand-to-hand combat between a bunch of apes and the Justice League. Just beautiful shit. You love to see it. Are we 3 issues in Batman Beyond? And by the way, reading these stories is an absolute mindfuck. Have you caught up with Invincible? The series is a roller coaster. No, I was talking to some folks about Invincible last night, and they're really selling me on it, but I just don't have Amazon. Let's see, where were we? At least a few of the Justice Leaguers were content to meet their foes in this earthy fashion. Hawkgirl grabbed up a long, sturdy tree branch and used it as a club, swinging it over her head like a fighting staff. She smashed one foe hard against his jaw, then reversed the staff into the gut of another. 2 stunned apes fell away. Hawkgirl whirled her staff over her head like a propeller, clocking several other ape attackers. Green Lantern used his ring to create a wedge-shaped plow blade, pushing the massive construct forward like the prow of some great ship. The Emerald Crusader battered through a wall of simian resistance, lifting and tossing the stunned apes aside like discarded toys. Green Lantern focused his concentration and forced his huge blade to dig into the earth. He gashed a long, deep trench before them and proceeded to knock more attackers into the ragged tear. Excuse me. Wonder Woman, a daughter of Amazon warriors, reveled in the combat. She cast her magic lasso, its loop expanding miraculously, to encircle a group of 8 charging apes. The glimmering golden rope cinched around the bulky, squirming creatures, constricting their ample stomachs, I should say. The apes fought this bondage for only a few seconds before being slammed hard into the ground, where they fell instantly into unconsciousness. 8 at once! Nicely done! Oh, that's not Green Lantern's voice. 8 at once! Nicely done! Something around there, said Green Lantern. A very efficient way to reduce the opposition's numbers. Wonder Woman drove a fist into the face of a single gorilla assailant. She grunted with the effort, smiling just a bit. A loud, hollow clonk sounded at the impact. Thank you, but I'm not above the personal touch, said the Amazon. Superman stood on a slight rise amidst a grasping squad of gorilla soldiers. They punched and kicked and bit at him, but the invulnerable Man of Steel shook them off. He lifted an ape above his head with one hand, even as he knocked 2 more aside with the sweep of his powerful blue-clad arm. Laughing, the Metropolis Marvel tossed his raised foe across the field into another bunch of apes, and they went flying like bowling pins. Lesser apes. Grodd found a bunch of bonobos and macaques to follow him. I mean, the Batman and Wonder Woman relationship is it's a thing. I don't know. I don't have thoughts on it past there. Hey, Jake. Hey, Jake. Thanks for that. Love you, buddy. Hope you're doing all right. Had to switch to Twitch. YouTube wasn't sending my comments again. Damn, it do be like that sometimes. I don't know why. Get the pointy-eared one, shouted an ape commander. He is a mere human. He has no power. Batman only smiled at the idea of his helplessness. Like a sower with seed, the Dark Knight tossed a handful of small silver spheres into the air in front of the charging pack of apes. Fascinated by the shining baubles, the gorilla stared upward at the spinning balls. That was their first mistake. The spheres suddenly exploded in blinding light with sharp, concussive reports. The apes grabbed at their stricken eyes and ears and stumbled, screaming in terror. 4 apes leapt at the jade giant Jean Jones, who stood calmly, awaiting their attack. They fell upon him and began to pummel him with their huge fists. It took a moment for the apes to realize that their quarry was no longer beneath them. Worse still, all their powerful blows had landed only on each other. Jean rose like smoke from the ground, a foot away from his tangled antagonists. He had become immaterial and sunk away into the earth. He stared down on his teeming enemies with some pity. Using his telepathic abilities, the Manhunter beamed a thought bolt into their minds, knocking them out from the inside. The apes raged like huge, angry children, reverting to their natural state, beating their chests, bellowing challenging hoots, roaring defiance. The heroes took every care to take the bestial attackers down as humanely as possible. Grodd was no longer on the scene, having run away in a panic moments before. As the 6 heroes finished off his guards, they found themselves facing an advancing wall of simian pawns. Grodd had mentally commanded his helpless captive apes to intercede and fight the heroes on his behalf. Leading the pack was Solivar, his vacant gaze lending the scene an eerie aspect. The Justice League stopped as the apes surrounded them. They did not want to risk hurting these helpless puppets, but getting through them would prove difficult. Meanwhile, the heroes were sure Grodd was planning to make everyone's life even more miserable. He doesn't have a lot of time to do it. He's only got a couple pages left. Now they got the bat smile. Pretty sure the Jade Giant is the Hulk. Stop jacking his style, Jean. True. Whereas the Green Giant's a guy that sells us green beans. I'm surprised that I mean, I guess like whenever we get to towards the end of the books, there's almost never new stuff to note in because they've already set everything up. But yeah. In the council chamber, serving as Grodd's throne room, the guerrilla rebel charged toward his huge psychic generator. He needed to ramp up its output to increase his control. He might even be able to take the minds of the accursed Justice League. Grodd cranked the controls on the device's face. The air crackled with wild power, and Grodd felt his mind open to his expanding mental field. Soon, Grodd soothed himself. Soon he would be back in control. Soon he would spread that control to all humanity. Then he would rule the world with physical and mental might. But something was suddenly not right. The machine began to shake and bang. Its gleaming black surface crawled with antic bolts of yellow lightning energy. Grodd's fur rose stiffly in the charged air. His eyes were wide and white against his dark fur and darker expression. The steel shell of the controlling engine ruptured and split with a loud, rending screech. It shook even more violently now. Fire and foul smoke poured from its complaining works. Grodd staggered away, covering his head as with a huge whump, the amplifying engine exploded with incredible force and a pyrotechnic display of awesome scope. Grodd picked himself up, shaken by the events and his loss of power. The wreckage of the machine burned brightly, still popping and hissing as it destroyed itself. The air buzzed with raw, loose energy. Grodd jerked suddenly as some unseen force slammed him in the face. What was going on? A wind stirred inside the big room. Grodd's stiff fur ruffling in the inexplicable breeze. Another blow from nowhere struck Grodd in his broad middle. He whomphed in pain. "Who is it? What is going on?" screamed Grodd. All at once, Grodd's bulk was peppered with countless painful punches, all from out of nowhere. The blows, like drops of water carving through granite over time, began to take their toll. Grodd bellowed with rage. The huge gorilla fell clumsily backwards. The blows continued to rain out of thin air to batter Grodd. He began to wonder if he was being haunted. Whatever his unseen attacker was, it did not seem to respond to his mental probes. As he fell, Grodd felt himself being caught up and lifted as if by some incredibly strong wind. This wind swept Grodd across the room, only to stop abruptly. Grodd shouted for his guards, but no one could hear him. Suddenly, while still suspended in midair, Grodd began to spin crazily, faster and faster. That's a weird paragraph break. He whirled helplessly, his speed ever increasing. Grodd screamed. Something is hitting Grodd. It must be Ghost. Yo, Gentleman Ghost up in here just having a fucking beatdown. Gentleman Ghost and Dead Man just fucking popping off on Grodd. Clearly. Without warning, Grodd's trajectory changed yet again. This time, he went flying across the room to smash hard into the large throne-like chair. It splintered to fragments as the big ape cannonballed into it. Grodd crawled from the wreckage, his fur littered with wood shards and sawdust. His eyes were wild with fear and loathing. An impossibly powerful punch landed on the ape's jaw, sending him spinning. Grodd sprawled in a heap. He raised his head, expecting more punishment, or a glimpse of his attacker. But Grodd was alone in this place. For the first time, the imperious gorilla genius was afraid for his life. Who had done this? Another rush of wind swept around Grodd as he lay on the floor, huddling in fear and apprehension. He sneaked a glance upward and was staggered by what he beheld. His enemy revealed himself. Blum, blum, blum. Flash stood over his fallen ape enemy, smiling. Grodd was beaten. His threat ended. With the machine wrecked, Solivar and the other gorillas would be free of Grodd's evil control, and Flash knew that his fellow Justice Leaguers were safe and alive. Most interestingly, though, Flash had found himself returned to health after his earlier incredible transformation. He had no idea how any of it had happened. He only knew that he had awakened in the jungle, vaguely aware of what had transpired. A careful test revealed that the invasive energy that had held him in check was gone completely. He was free to run again. Grodd stared in chagrin at the scarlet-suited hero above him. Once again, the gorilla villain had fallen to the speedster's power. Grodd groaned once and slid into unconsciousness. It was over. He had been beaten. Flash smiled broadly as he speedily bound the hands and feet of the unconscious ape. It was good to be the big dog. It was even better to be the fast one. And that's the end of chapter 11. Nothing really to note here. Just a lot of action going on. And it's going quickly. Chapter 12. Am I up to date with... Yeah, I'm up to date with y'all. Last thing is Grodd by Scarloy. Scarloy 1. Scarloy? Something along those lines. It's Thomas the Train. Hell yeah. I mean, that one's not Thomas. It's a red train. I don't know the name of the other trains, but I get it. In the end, Grodd's elaborately constructed schemes collapsed with surprising ease. Deprived of their leader and his mental domination, the rebellious underling apes surrendered quickly. What remained of Grodd's mind control machinery was smashed. Life in Gorilla City was very quickly back to its serene norm. The Justice League stayed on to help restore order and see to Grodd's incarceration. Solivar, ever the thoughtful and inspiring leader, expressed renewed hope that his recalcitrant. What does that mean? No, I'm trying to highlight the word. What does it mean? Recalcitrant. Having an obstinately uncooperative attitude toward authority or discipline. A class of recalcitrant 15-year-olds is the example. Okay, got it. So they just don't like authority. That's fair. Yeah, we're still on Grodd. But this is the end of the book with him. So Solivar is the leader in this, not the head of security like he was. Solivar, ever the thoughtful and inspiring leader. I mean, he is a leader. If he's the head of security, he's still a leader. Though I'm not sure. Surprising ease, deprived of their leader and his mental domination, the rebellious underling apes surrendered quickly. That leader is in regards to Grodd. But yeah, I don't know. Solivar can be a leader and be head of the security force. He leads the security force. Though you might be right. They might be trying to imply that he is the leader of Gorilla City here. Did we get like the leader of Gorilla City in the main cartoons? I don't know that we did. Recalcitrant is where it was. Constituent. Oh shit! No, his recalcitrant constituent. That would mean that that he is a constituent of Grodd. Interesting. Let me note that real quick. Let's see, chapter 11, chapter 12. Solivar is implied to be leader of Gorilla City. There we go. But despite his optimism, Solivar understood that it would not be a swift process. Grodd's crimes were largely directed against us, Solivar said to the assembled Justice League. With your permission, we'd like to see to his punishment ourselves. Batman spoke for the League.
Well, it seems evident that Gorilla City is uniquely qualified to handle such a rare and powerful prisoner. Unless Flash wants to press an assault case.
Yeah, I can see the big hairball in Central City lockup now, demanding his lawyer, Flash grimaced. No offense, Solivar, but he's all yours. In the passageway outside Solivar's office, the League members watched Grodd being taken to Gorilla City Containment Center. The huge ape was strapped securely into a restraining steel frame, which was rolled along by the two gorilla guards. A mind-damping helmet was fastened to the rebellious ape's head. The helmet did nothing to calm Grodd's seething fury, however.
Blast you, costume fools! I will not forget this,
Grodd snarled. Actually, Grodd, you probably will. All part of the rehabilitation process, said Solivar, smiling mildly. Hold on. Did this man just say that he's gonna like send Grodd to a re-education camp and like fucking like wipe his mind? That's not good. Hi, my name is David. Please say something about me. Was reading your comment enough? See, which is odd because helmets are usually so comforting. Flash strolled up to Grodd, grinning widely. Aw, I hope you don't forget about me, Grodzy. I'm the fella who kicked your furry behind again.
You! I will kill you with my bare hands!
Grodd growled, staring at the speedster with a gaze that could cut diamonds. Grodd put all of his focus into a mind blast aimed at the Flash, who merely smiled patiently. The helmet assured that Grodd's power was completely neutralized. No fun at all to have your style cramped, is it? Asked Flash. That ugly hat has your brain completely on hold. Grodd roared and ranted, his frustration all the way to his cell. No one in Gorilla City paid the slightest bit of attention. Did we have Central City marked earlier? I don't think... No, we did in the prologue. Okay. I'm a big fan of your channel. You're awesome, and please stop letting James bully you. Is James bullying me? When did that happen? I don't know anything about James bullying me. Or are you talking about the whole locked in the basement thing? I assume that might be what you're talking about now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, hey, Jay. I see you hiding in the background. How's it going, man? A short time later, in a medical lab, Solivar supervised a crew of guerrilla scientists in examining the Flash's metabolism. The speedster lay on a brightly lit table under a rolling scanning device. The ape physicians clucked and mumbled as they watched the numerous readouts and dials. The rest of the Justice League watched the Watchers. "What's the verdict, folks?" Flash asked. "Will I ever dance the Macarena again?" Yes, I did answer, because that's how live streams work. I can see what you're saying. And I communicate with the audience. That's what we do here. Wait. Hello there, General Kenobi. Not only are they apes, they're also part chicken. True. Clucking away. Solivar and the scientists stared without comprehension. Green Lantern stepped forward with an expression of barely contained amusement.
"Ignore him, and be glad that humor doesn't always translate across cultural distance."
But it would seem that Flash is showing every sign of improvement, said Superman with a smile. "If you can call his jokes an improvement," Hawkgirl added. Solivar nodded, looking pleased. He studied a scrolling data screen with satisfaction. "The medical scans can confirm our suppositions," Solivar said. "There is no trace whatsoever of Grodd's energy remaining in Flash's metabolism." "What happened to it?" asked Wonder Woman. "I can only guess," answered Solivar, "but I think he outrun it rushing to your rescue earlier." Flash stepped down from the examining table, curious and uncharacteristically serious for the moment. "Yeah, about that. How did I do it? What happened to me out there?" Solivar looked thoughtful as he considered the question. He really had no concrete answer for the Scarlet Speedster. What had happened should have been impossible, but the impossible was rather commonplace for the Justice League. Solivar spoke carefully, clearly still working out the answer for himself. "I can only guess. Grodd managed to infiltrate your system with a disabling energy that, as you know, interfered with your ability to use your speed." Solivar paced the lab as he spoke. "I think the invasive power was keyed to the energy that grants you your speed in the first place, which your body generates an endless supply. In essence, the two energies acted like opposing magnetic charges. Where they conflicted, a storm of pain resulted." I have to ask, will you ever do a Will It canon of Crypto the Superdog? We don't have anything planned for it yet, but it's definitely on the list. As I've said in the past, like all of the Will It canon stuff and timeline stuff is kind of tied into the storyline. So just with the fact that COVID happened the way that it did, our storyline's been a bit backed up. And we've got like a very like set place that we want to go with it, and luckily we were able to squeeze in the Batman Adventures Continue Will It canon within the narrative we had already set up, and you know so that's why we got that one, but haven't gotten any of the other stuff, because like we've definitely gone back and forth with each other, being like, hey, like, you know, what can we fit in, what can't we? But the host of Will It Canon is a character, right? Like, I know James presents the character, but the host of Will It Canon is a character that is a computer program, and he's very much got his own story arc going on of trying to escape the computer, and he's finally done it, and he, you know, the next place he's going to be is something that we had already built into the story. So now we can't fit any more Will It canons in until after we get to where, you know, where we're trying to go. Luckily, since I just got my my COVID shot yesterday, my first one, we're pretty close to being able to get together and film for an extended period of time. I've had the script for our next video, like, at least as a rough draft, written since, like, the start of last year, like February or March or something like that. So, you know, hopefully we'll be able to go full steam ahead within a month or so. What would have been in the Adventures Continues place for Data James' escape had COVID not hit? Had COVID not hit, the error messages that we already had set up would have been the escape, and it would have been shown just directly in the next video that we have set up. But now we gotta, like, not the next video, not the one I was just talking about that I have scripted, but like the next one for his character, if that makes sense. Why are you making a big deal about the yellow bat? I've never made a big deal about the yellow bat suit. That's James. But yeah. Where was I? I can only guess. Grodd managed to infiltrate your system with a disabling energy that, as you know, interfered with your ability to use your speed. Solivar paced the lab as he spoke. I think the invasive power was keyed to the energy that grants you your speed in the first place, which your body generates an endless supply. In essence, the two energies acted like opposing magnetic charges. Where they conflicted, a storm of pain resulted. Flash and his Justice League friends listened intently. Flash was embarrassed to realize how little he knew about his own power. It had been a gift, one he had accepted with gratitude, but the science of it was beyond him. Solivar continued. The body-mind interface in your use of super speed is incredibly important, Flash. Your speed is your means, but it is your imagination and will that drives you. And occasionally, Flash added, my appetite for chili dogs. Yes, that as well, I am sure, Solivar went on. In any case, the strength of your will could not be constrained by the inhibiting energy, even if your speed was. Flash looked at the faces of his friends as they listened to Solivar. He saw relief and fondness in their expressions. Flash smiled warmly. They liked him. They really liked him. To his credit, the speedster did not say this aloud. Maybe he was growing up. When your friends were in such dire need, your will overcame your body and pushed you to your utmost to save them. You went beyond even the agony of Grodd's imposed limitations. Solivar smiled at Flash. But what happened to me? Asked Flash. It was as if I became a phantom. Solivar shrugged his broad simian shoulders. Here we are, even further from what science can adequately explain. I am afraid. In motion, your body is vibrating at an incredible rate. In many ways, I believe you are somewhat incorporeal whenever you speed. Flash stared in confusion. This was news to him. Think about it, said Solivar. An accelerating body will perforce encounter... Give me that word. Formal. Used to express necessity or inevitability. Okay. Oh. I did not mean to skip forward. I'm 12 years old and I have a big fan of the DCAU. I probably said there's like 1,000 times, but I'm like a huge fan. Well, hell yeah, keep on rocking, keep being a fan. Was a Chili Dogs part a Sonic reference? Yeah, whenever I do like actually try to put on my Flash voice, I just kind of go with a Sonic voice. But I don't really have the energy to be consistent with it right now. But you know, I figured might as well throw the reference in. But Solivar's strapping simian shoulders. Like I've been saying throughout this book, Brian Augustine really seems to enjoy alliteration. And you know, more power to him. Where was I? Oh yeah, the perforce. Think about it, said Solivar. An accelerating body will perforce encounter certain aerodynamic inevitabilities, wind resistance, momentum, drag, things you never encounter. In motion, your power allows you to move through space with no resistance at all. Momentum is never an issue. You could turn any corner or stop literally on a dime. Flash's expression showed the wonder of these possibilities. Solivar continued. You move as if within your own world, Flash, because you are not quite in this one when you speed. The faster you go, the more your vibrations take you out of sync with normal reality. So, what keeps my molecules from just blowing away in the breeze? Asked Flash. Your speeding body is surrounded by a vibratory aura that maintains your physical integrity, it seems, said Solivar, and this aura is subject to your will, too. Pushed to the extreme, instinct took over, and you vibrated so fast you shed Grodd's energy, like water, and saved us, the Martian Manhunter offered. Well, that's a theory anyway, added Solivar, a game theory. In the end, you are the only real expert when it comes to your power.
Great, said Green Lantern. That means no one knows.
It's simple, said Wonder Woman. Everything you are comes from within you, Flash, from your heroic heart. Thanks to that, you are unstoppable.
I hope that means you're warming up to the idea of a date, Princess,
teased the Flash. Oh no, come on, man. Come on! Because as you hear, I am definitely better than normal. Perhaps, but apparently some things never change, said Wonder Woman. Welcome back, friend. Hell yeah, forget about Wonder Bats, we're getting Wonder Flash. That's what we're getting. Oi. You know what I'll do? I'm gonna screenshot that real quick. And I'm gonna just be like, put that on the Twitter. Save as Wonder Flash. Let's see if Maddie can keep his sonic voice for Flash consistent starting now. This game of tag is boring. I'm out of here. There you go. Let's see. Y'all are always going on about Wonder Bats, but refuse to accept the reality of Wonder Flash. There we go. Oh, hey, Josiah, how's it going? I am doing well. I just got my COVID vax yesterday, so I'm a little, like, I'm not, like, too, tired or anything from it, but there's a small pain in my shoulder and, like, I just want to sleep. But, second shot is June 2nd. I'm excited for it. I don't know what you mean by a chat video, David. But I'm not... If you're asking me to bring you on in a separate window, I'm not gonna do that. I appreciate you being a fan, but I'm not gonna just bring a 12-year-old onto the channel to chat. I don't know. It's kind of strange. Like I'm down to reply to whatever's going on in the chat box itself, but I don't bring people on to be a second window. Nothing here is set up for that. Where was I? Let's see. Welcome back, friend. The Justice Leaguers, with exception of the perpetual taciturn Batman, laughed in relief and enjoyment. The Dark Knight had the last word.
It's time we headed back. No doubt other menaces are already awaiting our attentions.
Go in peace, friends, said Solivar. Once again, Gorilla City is in your debt. Good luck keeping Grodd on the leash, said Flash. At least until you get him housebroken. The Justice Leaguers said their goodbyes and headed for home.
"Somebody do me the favor of piloting the Javelin 7 back home, please," said Flash. "I'm traveling under my own power again."
With that, Flash vanished in a blurring streak, leaving only a whipping breeze behind. The other heroes watched his departure with fondness.
Our little speedster's all grown up," said Green Lantern with a smile.
"Well, almost," said Superman. How is Flash traveling to the Watchtower with his speed? Yes, I'm glad that it's coming back in already. I need to shave the neck beard aspect of it. I need to get an electric razor more than anything. All right, we're at the end, y'all. We've got an epilogue left. Oh, let me stretch for a sec. Oi! Flash zoomed across the ocean like a stone skipping across a pond. He moved so fast that the water's surface was as solid as concrete to him. Once again, the Scarlet Speedster exulted in the use of his super speed, perhaps even more so now that he had a better grasp of exactly what he could do with it. The salt wind washed past him as he raced. Already, the coast of the United States was visible on the distant horizon. The Flash leaned into his speed, increasing his velocity to an incredible degree. Now he was one with the rushing wind, moving faster and faster toward home. As much as he was enjoying his exhilarating rush, however, Flash found himself looking forward to relaxing with his feet up. He had earned a rest. The Flash smiled to himself. Now that he was more mature, he was starting to think like an old man. More than anything, though, he recognized another feeling driving him on now. A growing rumbling emptiness was making itself loudly known within. This was something very familiar to Flash. It was obviously way past time for dinner. He poured on the speed and steered for land. Let's see really quick. Gotta mention the United States, which, like, I'm sure, you know, that's where Central City and all these other places are based. But since it's mentioned explicitly, there we go. Now we run to space. Hell yeah, Shave Club. That's what's up. What up, Watchtower Database? Good to see you. Good to see you too, Aaron. How's it going? Soon, firm ground replaced salt water beneath Flash's feet. He zoomed up a highway past cars that seemed to be standing still. Night was coming on, and the lights glittered in beautiful streaming streaks as they came to life. That's how I need to be doing the show. In streaming streaks. Just me streaking on the stream. That's what y'all want, right? Since the topic of today's stream is Flash, would you say you like Michael Rosenbaum better as Wally West or Barry Allen? Has he done Barry Allen at some point? If he did, I'm blanking on it personally. Wait. No, he did it in... Was he Barry Allen in JL Doom? If so, like, it's been forever since I've watched that, so I would need to refresh. But I do like his take on Wally, for sure. Where was I? Soon, firm ground replaced salt water beneath Flash's feet. He zoomed up a highway past cars that seemed to be standing still. Night was coming on, and the lights glittered in beautiful streaming streaks as they came to life. The Flash looked down at himself in curiosity, seeking any sign of change. He seemed, to his own perception, to be perfectly normal and quite solidly real. Maybe Solivar had been wrong. The Flash considered all the amazing things he had heard and weighed them in his mind. He was no scientist. Hold on. He was no scientist. Flash isn't a scientist? Isn't he like a police scientist? Like, isn't that a whole part of his thing? I mean, like, I guess he's not like the same kind of scientist that Solivar might have been. Pretty sure streaking on stream is illegal. Possibly. At the very least, I gotta assume it's against terms of service. Let's see. was no scientist, but he did have an innate sense of what he could and could not do. As bizarre and extreme as Solivar's theory seemed, Flash had to admit that everything the ape had said sounded right. It felt right as well. The Flash was master of his super speed and his metabolism. Who knew that what more he could learn to do? All he knew for certain at the moment was that he couldn't think too hard on an empty stomach. The Flash veered across the busy highway and exited, following signs for restaurants ahead. Soon, Flash found himself speaking loudly into a big plastic bear's smiling mouth. Three double cheese and bacon cheeseburgers and a colossal fries, said Flash. And 2 chocolate shakes, please. The bored teenager at the pickup window was startled to see that his customer was not in a car. It took a full 10 seconds before it dawned on the kid that the customer was wearing a bodysuit in bright scarlet and gold. You know, that's not how the drive-thru window works. The reason you can't walk through the drive-thru window is because there's like a weighted plate that you're not gonna be able to activate if you're in something that's, you know, not necessarily as heavy as, like, at the very least a motorcycle. A human's not gonna get that. He wasn't confirmed as a scientist until JLU's final season. Wasn't the whole setup in Brave and the Bold where like it showed the flashback of him being a police scientist and then like getting his powers? Like I think they even mentioned that in here though. Early JL stuff like Adventures used his comic job as a mechanic. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the Adventures stuff did, but the setup in here seem to have been part of like the police thing. Where was it? Yeah, Flash's origin, as mentioned, seems to match what we see in Brave and the Bold, and that happened a couple times. Again in Chapter 7. So I don't know. That's not how drive-thrus work. And wait, humans can't run at super speed? Listen, I worked at McDonald's for like 5 years, so like sometimes stuff like that just like I'm just like, wait a second. We saw him in a lab coat in a lab, but they never addressed it. Yeah, but I mean like it seems like that's the implication at the very least. Let's see. Where were we? The bored teenager, bright scarlet and gold. Welcome to Benny's. Flash, what are you doing here? To the victors goes the spoils, pal, said Flash, hefting the waiting sack of steaming food. And believe me, I've earned this. The dumbfounded clerk could only stare at the $10 bill that drifted on the sudden breeze into his open palm. The Scarlet Speedster was already long gone. Whoa, how about that? The Flash likes fast food. Okay. Not being accurate to the drive-thru experience makes up for the pun. I'll allow it. But yeah, I need to add Benny's. Benny's fast food. They went back and forth a lot on the Barry Wally elements of the character. Wonder Woman, she is cool sidekick of... well, she's not a sidekick of the Justice League. She's a member of the Justice League. But yes, she is cool, and she is called Diana Prince. That's accurate. Maddie, you do a great Batman and Joker voice, but you need to work on the Flash one. The Flash, you weren't here when I was saying it earlier, but it's kind of intentionally a little more Sonic the Hedgehog. Just because I can visualize what a Sonic voice sounds like. Flash laughed as he ran. Absolute joy poured over him, like a deliciously warm shower. He knew he was more than his speed. He understood that he could survive without his power. Maybe he would even continue to keep fighting the bad guys. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe he would, but it's kind of up in the air right now. But he knew one thing for sure. The Flash enjoyed his speed more than he could ever explain. And he was ecstatic that he had reclaimed it and defeated Grodd. He smiled widely. He loved his life in the fast lane. The Flash zoomed towards home, spurred on by the seductive scent of cheeseburgers and French fries. I've never heard a shower referred to as deliciously warm before. Yeah. But you know, that's a way to get the image stuck in your head. Deliciously warm shower. That's kind of what I want right now. And that's the end of Justice League Speed Trap. We can read about Brian Augustyn. But otherwise, I think that's where the book ends. About the author. Brian Augustyn was born and raised in Chicago, where he first discovered a love for comic books that continues to this day. After realizing that the odds against his personally developing superpowers were long, Brian turned his mind to envisioning the adventures of his favorite characters instead. He's been an editor and writer for many comics over the last 18 years, having the great pleasure of steering the lives of many comics favorites, including The Flash. Brian lives with his ever-patient wife, Nadine, and two wonderful daughters, Caroline and Allison, in Connecticut. Well, I don't know about you, but my speed feels effectively trapped. Good job, Brian. Yeah, this was I think this was one of the better better written of the Justice League books so far. I appreciated it. It was a fun time. I've been thinking about like doing like book report videos or something on the books that we go over. And this one really makes me want to like actually start working on that. This and like the Harley Quinn one were both really fun. Jesus Christ. Okay. But yeah, so next week we will, I don't know what we'll do next week, but we'll probably do one of these three. We'll probably keep on the Justice League train. We've still got In Blackest Night, which is going to be a Green Lantern story, A League of His Own, which looks to be a Martian Manhunter story, and Wild at Heart, which I cannot tell from the cover who's going to be the main character. I guess it's going to be Superman. But yeah, so we'll probably start one of those up next week. But I was born half an hour out of Chicago by Gary, Indiana. Maddie, you have got to see Invincible this weekend. I will try to get on top of it at some point. But it's man, you gotta chill out, little dude. But yeah, so I'll probably do what I normally do, put another poll up on Twitter, and see where things go from there, and we'll figure out who the next book will be. But with that said, I'm getting hungry. It's about my lunchtime, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day. We finished a book, and that's an accomplishment. Ooh, my arm didn't want to go up. Okay, there it goes. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for the day. Y'all take it easy. Have a good rest of your day. And of course, I'll be back on Saturday for some more Batman Beyond timelining shenanigans. And you know, new video on Sunday that I did. It's a news roundup for Batman Adventures Continue and Justice League Infinity, which is kind of funny because when I recorded it, I was under the impression that we were going to be behind on the first Batman Adventures Continue chapter, and then they pushed it. So the video probably has me being like, oh my god, we're behind already, but we're not. We're ahead. But yeah, y'all take it easy. I'll see you on Saturday.